Yeah.
Of course. It's on. I didn't see this over here, but I thought it went off.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
About the sweet.
Yeah, dude.
Issues don't care. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Because you said
In like 2 hours.
ironically, a lot more work that dynamic works that is probably as good and there's a woman that works with Brad who is an
Okay, 2 announcements. One, just so you guys know, I will be the timekeeper, so I'm going to be probably back in the back corner, that side. So if you just glance over there, I'm going to hold up a 2-minute sign at 6 minutes, a 1-minute sign at 7 minutes, and then done at 8 minutes. That doesn't mean you still will have time for questions for the 2 minutes after, but just so you guys know the timeline. And then I also am going to be passing these out. Every person will fill out one form for the group that goes after them. And that means if you're the last group, I assume you know who you are, the last ones to go, you guys will be filling out a form for the first group that goes. So it's like a circle. So everyone will just fill out one form, which means that each group will get 4 of these at the end. So I'm going to pass these out now, but don't just worry about the group after yours.
Ezra, can I make an announcement as well?
Yes.
So guys, there was some various discussion about, are we going to pick a winner, how's that going to look, and actually what we came up with, all of the mentors put our heads together, and I think what might be a more useful thing that will recognize greatness but also not have to select 1 out of the 8 is we have Oscar categories that we'll be highlighting. So the categories are best use of visual materials, best use of oral effectiveness, best commercial ideas, best use of insight, and then something we're calling the Push the Envelope Award, which is the sort of wacky out there idea that could still perhaps be really useful. So you shouldn't change anything you're about to do because of what I've just said, but just know that that's coming, and we're not trying to, I need my deck back, I need my deck back. So.
You guys all know what order you're in? So the group that goes last will be evaluating the group that presents first. That makes sense?
And is someone introducing our guests?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I also ask that everyone take their cell phone right now and just make sure it's on vibrate or off. Thank you.
All right, so I think we're about ready. Chris and Jen are going to make an announcement, and then I think we're all set.
Thank you.
are here to introduce a new person to our meet car today. His name is Dave Berwick. He's from Peace Coffee and Tea. He and I am from Middlebury. He graduated in 1983.
Yes. After graduating, he worked for 4 years, and after that, he enrolled in Harvard Business School. And his career includes working at PepsiCo as the CMO, then joining Weight Watchers to work as president of North America, which is very impressive. And he finally joined Pete's Coffee, being invited because of all of his experience, and he fell in love with it. Now he's the CEO. He's worked there since 2013, early 2013, and we're glad to have him here, and really hope all of our presentations give him some insight into how we can move forward.
Our first announcement is please welcome three judges today, Blake and Dave and Talia. Thank you so much.
So, I'm sitting here.
You guys all set?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then Timothy, I think had
I
one
just
more
wanna say-
logistics.
Just to smooth the logistics of our feedback forms here, it says group name, just put the number of the group there so we can sort them out. And hold on to all of these for now. Let's not do a lot of passing around these forms. We'll collect them all at the end, right?
By number, do you mean number like in
Of
order?
the sequence,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also have a clicker, which makes it easier to not stand behind the podium. So you guys can just, whoever is speaking can hold on to this. It's just left and right. Should be very safe. So the first group is this the first group?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Gambro. I'm glad to have you here.
I'm Jocelyn. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Parish. It's been a grueling, intense week so far in Lake Tahoe, but we're glad that we can finally be here and present our recommendations that will hopefully make these a more attractive option for millennials our age. But before we actually move into the recommendations, we would like to show you our insights, which we feel really resonate with ourselves, but which we collected through surveys and interviews with lots of millennials our age. So some of our insights are.
The first one is elevate the experience. A lot of people said, I want to go to a coffee shop for more than just the product. I want a memorable experience. Second one, inviting environment. I feel, or I want to feel, anyway. I want the coffee shop to feel inviting. I want to feel encouraged to hang out with my friends. The third one is reinforce uniqueness. I want to feel like I'm part of a movement and that I believe in, and I can integrate it into my identity. Fourth one is authentic human connection, which means people are saying, I want to interact with people at coffee shops, and I want a human-human connection through what I buy. Finally, strong brand and trust. I want to buy from an organization that has an established brand, contributing to its reputation and my trust towards it.
And we believe that these insights can be realized through a strategy we like to call movement towards a better cup of coffee. Now, fortunately for Pete's, they already have a great cup of coffee. However, the real challenge here is actually educating people about that cup of coffee and making it so that everyone who actually comes to Pete's wants to stay at Pete's, customer loyalty. So that's what our presentation will be focusing on. We've designed three different methods as to how we can achieve this. Lauren will be walking you through the social media aspect of it.
So social media is a great way for Pete's to advertise to millennials, because when I asked people where they found out about their trends and what was new and upcoming, every single person said social media, and everyone, it's become the new word of mouth, which is what you guys have started as and what you guys want to stay as. So I think the top three that you can improve upon are your Instagrams, the use of YouTube, and the use of Snapchat. So looking at the three Instagram pages, it's pretty obvious that Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are very corporate, and they're very in your face of like, this is our company page, this is our corporate page. when you look at Pete's, it's more of like, you can kind of tell that this person likes Pete's, but you're not really sure that this is its company page. So you need to find a balance between having it be like, this is our, for sure this is the company page, but also relate it back. Like, we still want to be like the word of mouth, the kind of down-to-earth company. And you can tell by the numbers that there's just a lot of room for improvement in people of the following. And one way to do this is make hashtags like Pete's Promise and Pete Mix to start the movement towards a better cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And like there's more and other things you can come up with. Another use of social media is through YouTube, and a lot of you know who Tyler Oakley is. He's a very big proponent of the LGBT community, and he's done a lot of work with the River Project. He has millions of subscribers, and he uses that platform to raise money for the projects that he really wants and he really believes in, as well as providing a service for companies, and like he advertises for certain things. He's done a lot of work with Audible. And Gila Cooking is, she's a cook, she's from home, she's a down-to-earth, like this is the way to do this, and like better ways to cook from just being little and just not really using that much and just down-to-earth. And you can use her and collaborate with different YouTube stars to like advertise to a bunch of new millennials. Snapchat's another one. People are very into stories. I remember when we got here, everyone wanted to be on the like Tahoe story, and that's a great way to just start movements that way. And this Discover page, there's a lot of different companies that are on there that are constantly updating and showing different articles and different ways to like use different foods or use different things. And like Cosmo articles are always updated on there. I don't even subscribe to them anymore because it's right there. There's just a bunch of different ways to go with that and just to collaborate with different companies and move that way. So,
So I'm going to talk about how we can bring college students and college campuses and establish the trust, the strong brand and trust. The first thing that we would like to recommend to Pete is trying to attract millennials by integrating into the college lifestyle. One way to do that is accepting of dining dollars. So we all know that we have meal plans, but we all know that college students are broke. They do not want to go out of their way to pay cash. But if you know that you have a card, you have your student ID, and you can go to a Pete's shop to buy your cup of coffee, that would be so much easier. And so one way to do this, I am from Lafayette College, and Lafayette College partnered with a company called Blackboard Transact, and this allows vendors in our community to accept our student cards to buy anything that we want to. So I feel like this is a really good way to establish strong brand and trust, and I feel like the cost of doing this is really not high because the college reimburses you for the transaction, like daily transaction, and the only cost is like fees and maintenance and technology. And I feel like this is something that Pete can do really good. Another thing is students' discounts. Seriously, we want to feel special. We want to get those privileges. I feel like if I go to a coffee shop and they're giving me like a privilege, I feel like I want to come back. So if Pete can, give students discounts during, it's not like all throughout the school year, just like midterms, final exams, that would be great. And so something else that can really increase the brand and trust is creating a really good, inviting environment. So I feel like we were trying to find a way of putting the Pete's story out there. Like a really good to do that is this saying that we came up with: follow your cup of coffee. So this is a way of putting TV screens out there. So students don't want to go out of their way to just go look for information. We want free information. We want it to be out there. So putting TV screens that show videos like how the coffee is produced, how the coffee is being shipped, how the coffee is being roasted, and how it's ending like being your cup of coffee. So I feel like the TV screen also would be a good way to communicate your new products, like upcoming events. And I also feel like using posters and just put it in their faces, like put it on tables, putting on the walls, like give it out with receipts. I feel like that's a really good way of doing it. Thank you very much.
Sponsoring events. Well, yeah, sponsoring events, like I guess it goes without saying that it's a pretty successful way to integrate yourself onto any college campus, and that it shows students that you're more than just a brand and that you're willing to get down and dirty, supposedly. But just show that you care, not anything else. I spoke to the head of sales last week, Nick, and what he was telling me is that companies really struggle to get into college campuses because there's just like a variety of companies that are always like coming in and out of campuses, so it's hard to gain that loyalty. But if you actually work towards hosting events or hosting events, that would really make a big difference.
Finally, our last recommendation is to incorporate the Pete's brand onto products through cups and napkins. This is a great way to tell your story in a more passive way that people don't have to look for, like Jocelyn was saying. So here's an example of a napkin that we might think, and a hashtag at the bottom, which is kind of Pete's promise. It could also be follow your cup of coffee if you explain, where your beans come from and the integrity that you put into the whole process of brewing, which is really amazing, really special. People will feel like they want to identify with that, and it's really going to build your uniqueness among all the coffee brands out there, we truly feel. And like we were saying before, these will elevate the experience, reinforce that uniqueness, and build that strong brand that's very special about Pete's. So finally, just conclusion, I'll run through our talking points really quickly. We had 5 insights that people were saying out in the field and through our interviews. Elevating the experience, reinforce uniqueness, build a strong brand and trust, and build an inviting environment for the younger millennials out there, and have authentic human connection, which more now today young people want. And that leads to our 3 main recommendations through social media, marketing, college marketing, and facts and story on products and out in your cafes. So that will, we feel, attract more millennial coffee connoisseurs and really contribute to your brand and loyalty all in that. Thank you very much.
For questions. So, go ahead, judges.
Oh, wow, okay. Ask questions.
So, what do you guys, from a consumer research perspective, what do you guys do? I mean, you talked to Nick, which is actually good. But how did you guys kind of get to, like, those 5 key points, I think actually are really good. How did you get there?
Okay, so that from other interviews, I interviewed Cara Thomas, who who's an expert in millennial market, and she said she's also a huge Pete's fan out in San Francisco. So she said that millennials nowadays want more human connection. They want to feel like they can identify with something, when they're growing, really trying to figure out their lives. And also they want an authentic. They can sift through the BS.
Did you talk to millennials as well?
So we sent out a survey to millennials, and this survey was not about choosing, it was more about like writing. So I feel like this is how we come up with our insights, not like from like multiple choice, but like the words
Like
and the
open
emotions,
answer, okay.
what they're saying.
Also, the people I talk to all want to just like go to a piece of coffee, like go to a coffee shop and really just sit there with their friends, and like they just wanted to be there and have as she said, like the human connection, like eating with your friends versus just being in the coffee shop. And I've heard it from a lot of different people.
Are we giving feedback? Or
No.
No.
You're holding on to what
That's okay.
Forgive us for running a little bit over, but we had a lot of good stuff. It's
Very gracious of you. Yeah, very gracious.
Sir.
I just want to let everyone, just for the rest of the presentation, Ezra is going to be using a bell to indicate when the time is up. Since part of what we're doing is practicing for the final innovation challenge where there will be no extra time, so we're going to try to incorporate this opportunity. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter because we are practicing. So when you hear the bell, know you got to wrap it up.
Yeah, so the bell will be at 8 minutes, then you have the 2 minutes for questions. So when you hear the bell, I'll still hold up the signs for the 2 minutes and the 1 minute, and then you'll hear the bell at 8 minutes, and that's when you're done. All right.
And remember, answering questions is to your advantage as a team, so make sure you preserve that time.
Let me just find your That's you guys? Alrighty. And you guys have the clicker?
Sweetie?
Alright, so, good morning everyone. I'm Christina Cheer,
I'm Seamus Crowley.
I'm Oswald Jackson Brown.
And I'm Nick Malazzo.
and we're Team Green.
So initially, when we started this project, we were provided with this challenge. Peach is interested in attracting a greater share of the market, specifically 18 to 26-year-olds. But after talking to customers, employees, and Reed, a brilliant consumer psychologist, and Roy Hefferman, the former CEO of Life is Good, we recognize that Peach is encountering difficulties when marketing coffee to millennials. But then we realized,
obviously, as you guys know, the quality of the coffee isn't the issue here. What we think the issue is marketing experience to millennials. We need to find ways to actually relate to them on a deeper level than just the quality of the coffee. So we need to ask ourselves the question, what do millennials value? In our field work, we found a couple notable quotes. Aaron Reed said, millennials value experiences over purchased goods. A male millennial we spoke to said, home is where you go to rest and recover after a big adventure. And a female millennial we spoke to said, I like when people are nice. It makes me come back. What we gathered from this is comfort and adventure. And initially, these might sound like mutually exclusive terms, but what we think is that the best way for Pete's to market to millennials is to use your coffee to inspire a sense of adventure in millennials, encourage them to go out, get stories, have amazing experiences, and then use Pete's as their home. They come back, they rest, they recover, and they plan their next adventure.
So we have a few ways we foresee going about selling adventure to millennial consumers. First of all, we think it's very important to restructure Pete's history to put an emphasis on adventure. And this can be as simple as rewriting the Our History page of the website to focus on adventure. Tell Pete's story of how he went to Indonesia, was part of the tea trade there, and how he has always been in search of the perfect cup of coffee, and how he finally landed in Berkeley to share it with the world. Secondly, another way to share Pete's history in an easy way is to add fun facts to the store. Put them up on signs in the store, add them to cups for little tidbits of information just to get the public educated on the story. Secondly, we thought that creating storytelling boards and community maps would be very helpful. As far as storytelling boards, people can write in chalk on a board, say, I went on this adventure this weekend, and people can collaborate and say all the amazing things they've done. Secondly, they can say, we can put up a community map that says where people have been and where they're going. And hopefully this inspires conversations between customers to share ideas and want to go on adventures together. And this sense of community should create a feeling of comfort among the consumer. And lastly, we thought that putting inspirational quotes on merchandise, such as tumblers and mugs, would be helpful, and relate them back to Pete's by saying things like, your coffee being on this adventure, where will you take it next?
Okay. And equally as important, we have to figure out how to sell comfort to our audience. And a way we thought we could do that is by incorporating the second home concept that Talia mentioned throughout the week, which is the idea that between home and work, you have this place where you can also go to relax and find comfort and feel safe and reconnect with others. A way we can support this is by using ceramic plateware and metal utensils similar to the ones you have at home to create a feeling of home, comfort, and just like that nostalgic feeling. Another way is to improve employee and customer relationships by just simply training employees to ask customers, what have you done today? Where are you going? Instead of asking, how are you? Because that always gets the answer of, oh, I'm good, and ends the conversation right there. Employees could also encourage customers to sit down, relax, have their coffee, enjoy our comfortable new seating, and just share with others your stories. In a way, we can also promote adventure that way because it's a subliminal message of a small thing like, what have you done? If you haven't done anything, maybe you should go out and adventure. So that's how we foresee proposing how to sell comfort.
So, we mentioned before that adventure and comfort shouldn't be mutually exclusive, even though culturally it's a bit contradictory. This is a picture of the flagship store. We imagine all of the elements that we just mentioned a moment ago coming together, both in the store, but also in terms of media.
can we tell a concise and cohesive story across the brand? The story that this brand deserves, the story that the world doesn't know.
So, in summation, the problem that Pete's has been having is marketing their coffee to the millennial consumer.
Okay, but as we mentioned earlier, coffee isn't the problem, it's how to relate to millennials. How do we get Pete to create this image in millennials of adventure and comfort? And we say, let coffee inspire adventure millennials, and let coffee shops be their base camp. Thank you.
Anybody have questions?
I do.
Please do it.
So your recommended strategies for adventure and comfort make a lot of sense if we're talking about the flagship store. How would you do that in a Rayleigh's or in a licensed store on campus? Because I would imagine, we know that college students go to those places just as often or more. So how would a proudly poor convey that? Have you thought about that?
Basically, actually, another quote that we found a little disturbing in our field research was we went to a Rayleigh's, we went to the